いいわ。ちょっと緊張する。
ウリュウ、いきなりは辛いかも。頭痛になりそうだったらすぐに魔力を減らしてね。
Although not too much. I mean, you survived a skyscraper, but I don't know about this one.
じゃあ、魔力ソースをエンジェに移すよ。
Instantly, the inside of my head felt very heavy. This is... yeah, it's tough. Until then, the inside of my head had been used only for myself. It was almost like it was now also being used for 7 other people. Their mere presence there, blinking, or even letting out a single breath, was placing an enormous weight on the inside of my head.
マリア卿、恐れながらやはり一度に7姉妹全員の負荷は重すぎるかと。
大丈夫。
Yeah, you girls better not be doing anything silly right now. Like, not while Angie's doing her thing now.
やっぱりダメかな。権限に全勢力を使っちゃってる。日常生活と両立できないほどの負荷じゃ意味がない。何しろ魔女としてこれじゃちょっと優雅じゃないね。
ウリュウ、だからいきなりこんなに大勢は無理だって言った。みんな少し姿を消してあげて。
そうね。人数を減らした方が良さそう。
Wait, I'm confused. Why did Maria say that it is a little unrefined for a witch? That she's trying to control all the stakes at once?
アスモ、姿を消しなさい。
また私？末っ子いじめ反対。たまには上から消えてよ。
それじゃ私が2番目に消えなきゃならないじゃない。やだやだやだ。アスモもレビアネーも騒がないの。そういう騒ぎが余計エンジェ様の負担になるのよ。あんたが騒ぐのも負担になるのよ、バカサタン。
Damn it. Stop messing around, you idiot. The 7 sisters started arguing over who should vanish first. All the energy of that fight became a burden, imposing an even greater headache upon Angie. In the end, they decided the order with rock, paper, scissors, and they began to disappear. 1 of them, 2, 3. But even at that level, Angie was still far from comfortable. In the end, I was finally able to calm my breathing once 6 of them had erased themselves. With my magical power, forget the 7 sisters. Just 1 of them is my limit.
これじゃあ7姉妹じゃなくて私一人じゃないですか。エンジェ様、ちょっと頼りないです。
Mamon, who had won her way through the rock, paper, scissors and received permission to remain until the end, complained. I mean, no wonder. She used super paper in order to win.
ウリュウ。
I know, right?
マモン、そんなこと言っちゃダメ。エンジェはまだまだ修行中。大丈夫エンジェ？頭痛、大丈夫？
Sakataro stretched on his tiptoes and did little hops trying to pat Angie's head. Watching this, Maria scratched her head, acknowledging that this sudden training had been too difficult.
ちょっと荒行すぎたかな。マリア、
これくらいなら全然平気だけど、友達いっぱいいればいるほど楽しいし。
お姉ちゃんの凄さを改めて思い知るわ。
According to Mario One-chan, when you reach her class, you can even summon enough people at once to make up an orchestra. And yet, she calls herself a witch apprentice. And that is awe-inspiring. Yeah, that can truly be awe-inspiring. To create an orchestra with the 7 sisters. I wonder who is going to be the one that is going to handle the tuba.
大丈夫ですか？エンジェ様。
ごめんなさいね。私にはあなた一人を呼び出すのがやっとみたい。
まあ、私はこれでもいいかな。だって7姉妹で私だけがエンジェ様の家具を独り占めだし。いかがですか、エンジェ様？私一人なら不可にはなりませんか？
ええ、あなた一人ならなんとかね。
よかったー。ならいっぱい修行していっぱい魔力を養ってください。そしていつかきっと7姉妹で揃ってお仕えさせてください。約束ですよ。
After checking that there was at least nothing wrong with her own manifestation, Mamon evenly returned to a good mood, and tried to make me promise to work even harder. Yeah, I can see the greed in her, but maybe you can also call it positivity.
ええ、約束するわ。
Yeah. When Beatrice is not the one controlling the stakes for the sake of the games, and they are here with Angie and Maria, it is a little surreal. That it is also reassuring.
そのくらいはいつかできなくちゃね。
ありがとう、エンジェ様。この強欲のマモン、その日まで必ずエンジェ様にお仕えします。
My headache finally abated, and I relaxed both hands, which I've been clutching at my head. And then Mamon stuck out her hand and helped me to stand back up.
おりゅう。あ、マリア、エンジェ、もうこんな時間だよ。もう部屋に戻らないと叱られる。
Go back to the room? Huh? Where are we? I hadn't expected Sakataro to talk about the time. I was brought back into reality. As though the light had disappeared from it, the vast world sank into the darkness. And I was in a tiny bathroom stall sitting on a toilet. Oh god! I'm in the Forbidden Land! I cannot. I mean, it sure is a missed golden opportunity if I were to not make this obvious joke / reference. Angie, may I see your panties? Yo! Stop! One-chan's grimoire was open on my lap. I looked at the clock. It was almost 8 p.m. Time for lights out. If I show up late for the roll call before lights out, not only do they make an annoying fuss about it, but it causes trouble for my roommates and floor mates as well. I couldn't care less about causing them trouble, but I'd rather not have to deal with the annoying interference that would come as a result. That's the end of my me time for today. I'll go to bed, wake up, tomorrow will begin, and another long gray-colored day will repeat again. I closed the grimoire and rose from the toilet seat. One-chan appeared again and spoke.
ほら、エンジェ。修行を忘れてるよ。マモンを連れて行って。
I had forgotten. The moment I returned to reality, I had stopped manifesting Mamo. One more time. I created a strong image of the existence of Mamon in my mind.
もう園児様ったらひどいです。いきなり私を消すなんて。そんなんじゃ7姉妹を全員呼ぶなんてなかなかできませんよ。ごめんなさい、うっかりしてたわ。人間界に権限するのはすごい久しぶりなので、何から何まで興味深いです。ちょっぴりワクワクしてます。ここはどこですか？
I mean, this is... Well, I cannot say for sure if this is really 1998. I mean, it sounds like much earlier than that. But yeah, there surely must be a lot of anime at this point, even now,
聖ルチア学園の寮。
in comparison to 1986.
ここはその共用トイレの個室。各部屋にトイレはあるから、ここには誰も来ない。静かで本を読むにはちょうどいいの。ここの寮は本を読むにもトイレの個室に隠れなきゃならないの？文書でもやってるんですか？
I have a double room, so my roommate is always there. Our relationship is strained. It feels like I'm always being ignored. The atmosphere is bad, so it's really not a place I can relax. And it's good for her as well. As long as I'm not there, she can go all out, call her friends, and have a chatting party. It's more convenient for her too if I don't return until just before lights out. Blech. There's also the library, but the group that uses that as a meeting place is constantly whispering about me. So I don't like going to the library either. During lunch, it's the bushes behind the school building. During the night, it's a stall and a communal bathroom in the dorms. Those are the only hideaways where I can be given peace. I opened the door to the stall and went out. I turned around, signaling with my eyes for Mama to come with me.
よくわからないけれど、園児様にとってとても快適とは言い難い場所だってことが分かったわ。早く表に出ましょう。ここの空気、嫌い。そう。ここの空気が一番まともなんだけどね。
When I left the bathroom and exited into the corridor, because it was near lights out, all the girls who had gone to play in other rooms were dashing back to their own. When it came time for lights out, we had to change into uniform pajamas that we hated and called prison clothes, line up in the hallway, and go through a dorm leader's roll call. Jesus Christ. You know, once again, me picturing Angie having a good time with Mamon, it makes me compare the stakes to the girls, like, in the school. To think that the girls in the school are much more demonic and bitchy than the demon stakes themselves. You know, if you are to think that demons can be friends, that Angie can be friends with demons, such as the stakes, then what does that tell you about the girls in the school? If by some chance someone were to be late for this, we would be made to take collective responsibility, and all of us floor mates would have to undergo a punishment that went by the name of volunteer work. Ew, volunteer work. As long as I took care to avoid this, the girls would disregard me coldly, but they wouldn't get in my way. That alone was enough for me. Mamon looked at the passing girls and the furnishings of the dorm with interest. Without paying her any particular attention, I hurried back to my room. In front of my room was my roommate, who had already changed into her prison clothes, chatting with some girls from the room next door. When they noticed me hurrying back, they blatantly changed the topic of their conversation. They lowered their voices, stealing glances at me. I acted like I didn't notice, went into my room, changed. and hurriedly went out into corridor. Everyone was already lined up.
何これ、おかしい。ここってお嬢様学校じゃないの？刑務所みたい。
Yeah, like what the hell is this?
バカみたい。
やっぱりそうよね。私もそう思ってるわ。刑務所よりさらに厳しい点は、素行が良くても刑期が短くならない点かしら。
After bitching for a bit, I noticed. Having someone to listen to your complaints felt surprisingly good. Fortunately, Mamo's form can only be seen by the summoner, me. Of course, there's no need to speak out loud for this conversation. All I have to do is speak inside my mind, so no one can listen in. Magic, and the friends created by it. Might actually not be so bad.
こいつら揃いも揃ってもやしみたい。生きてないって感じ。
やめなさいよ。毎日姿を見られたら大変よ。
夢も希望もかけらほどもない人間なんて半魔法の塊だもの。私の姿なんて絶対に見えるわけがない。見ることもできない下等生物どもが。
あなたはその半魔法の毒素を持つ人間たちがこれほどいる中でも平気なの？
エンジェ様が私を権限させてくださる限りは平気です。ただ私を権限するために常に集中しなければならないでしょうから、日常生活がおろそかになる可能性がありますよ。ほら、同室の子に呼ばれてません？
あ、
後宮さん、聞こえてる？来週からの終盤なんだけどさ、ちょっと相談があって。
Probably about pushing a few more chores onto me. My roommate, who normally would never even look at me in the eye, was smiling at me unpleasantly. But I'll have a much easier time having the weekly duty pushed onto me and doing it alone, rather than being forced to do it with her. That's a small price to pay to have her continue to ignore me. Yet, after the shameless excuses, she transitioned into pushing a completely different point, insisting on flipping the issue on its head, as if I should have come forward and done it on my own initiative. One of the special traits of this academy is that it's full of girls who don't know how to ask a favor. Yeah, how freaking lovely.
何この子、ムカつく。眉間に思いっきり私の杭をねじ込んでやりたい。
そうね。ぜひ今度お願いするわ。
Yeah, maybe it's among the first times when I can condone Mamon's actions over here. I mean, she can be free to kill them. Okay, I'm just joking. Yeah, having a friend nearby all the time to complain to makes me happier than I thought it would. The Seven Sisters really were lively when they were all gathered together. I'm sure that just watching them mess around would be a lot of fun. I decided I'll do all I can to quickly gain the magical power to summon all the Seven Sisters at once. And then I'll keep training more and more and more, and summon the thing that I really want to summon.
エンジ様が本当に召喚したいものって何ですか？
Mama noticed my conversation with myself inside my head, and asked about it blankly. Oh yeah, I guess it comes with the disadvantage that you cannot really hide your thoughts from Mammon. When there are thoughts that you would rather keep it to yourself. I guess that's one thing. I hesitated over whether to talk about it, but then I thought that it wasn't anything to hide, and told her.
家族よ。お父さん、お母さん、お兄ちゃん。
それってつまり死者の魂？異界の住人を呼び出すのは召喚だけど、死者の魂を呼び戻すのは反言で、それは全くの別物。反言はかなりの大魔法のはずですよ。
I know. So much so that even Mario Nechan can't do it at all. Oh, I mean, wouldn't you say that resurrection would be calling the soul with their vessel, like, permanently. Whereas just calling the soul would just bring them here for you to talk to them. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be tied to Earth. You know, I mean, same case with you. Just because we are summoning you, Mamono, here, doesn't mean that you are part of this world and you are tied to this world forever. No, you can always go back to where you come from. That's the thing I most want to call with magic. I've been warned that it's very difficult high-level magic. So great that, in the worst case, I might not necessarily reach that point even after training for my whole life. Furthermore, I have no vessel. A vessel is something vital for making magic succeed, whether it be summoning or resurrection. Because I don't have one, what would already have been difficult magic instead became hopeless. That's right. I have nothing to remember Mom or Dad by. However, by an extraordinary coincidence, I do have something to help me remember Oni-chan. And that's this.
そのピンクの玉の頭飾り？何それ？言っちゃ悪いけど、エンジェ様にはちょっと安物っぽい。
Okay, well, I guess now it makes absolute sense. I mean, I guess it's the most logical thing that one could come up with. Why Angie is wearing those pink beads. It's mostly because of Beller, isn't it?
昔、お父さんに内緒で、お母さんと一緒にお兄ちゃんに会って、遊園地に遊びに行ったことがあるの。そこのクレーンゲームの景品。
I know it's something cheap. I realize that it doesn't match my style, and I get that it's a bit too childish. But this hair accessory is the only thing that makes me feel as though Bella or Oni-chan is by my side. The inside of the glass case had been filled with plastic capsules packed with fun-looking things. It seemed that each of those capsules had some kind of cute little object inside. The game was to grab those with a crane. But I was young and it was too hard for me. No matter how many times I tried, I didn't even get close. Mom told me that whatever was inside was probably cheap anyway. And we didn't even know what it was. So there was no point in getting all upset over it. But whether it was something cheap or not wasn't the issue. The process of grabbing happiness with my own hands felt very important and sacred to me. So I wanted that capsule with its own unknown cheap little object more than anything. Then Oh my god. You're killing me here. Bella Oni-chan came over after finishing with a game where you shoot soldiers with a gun. I had to go in my place. The happiness that was beyond my reach. Oni-chan stretched out with his long arms in aggressive for me. Oni-chan really was coordinated. Apparently he often played at the arcade with his friends. Man, Angie was so adorable, first and foremost. And second, man, this is really nice. This is lovely. After only one or two attempts with a crane, he grabbed that thing on the other side of the glass that I hadn't even been able to touch, and dumped it into the exit tube. When Oni-chan tossed me that capsule, I remember feeling I could count on him for anything. For the next several days, I felt like the capsule was too precious to open up. And then, one day, I finally opened it. And when I did, what revealed itself from inside was this pink bead hair accessory. And since that day, this has been a symbol of Oni-chan. My young mind thought that getting that 4-person family together, with better when Ichan included, was a precondition for a happy family. So I wanted Oni-chan and Dad to make up quickly. In my own way, I had made this hair accessory a charm to bring my whole family together. And that's why I always used to wear it. Because I wanted to feel my reliable, funny, and willful Oni-chan by my side all the time. And give him a place in our own house. Damn it, now I wanna see that again. I wanna see young Genji and Bowler again.
でもお兄ちゃんの記憶はあまりに遠い。マリアお姉ちゃんがライオンのぬいぐるみからサクタラを生み出したようには簡単にできない。私は死者の魂を蘇らせる大魔法をいつか必ず身につける。そしてそれを成功させられる唯一の鍵が、よりしろがこれなの。
なるほど。その頭飾りにものすごい魔力を感じてたけど、そういうわけなのね。
魔力？お兄ちゃんのこれに魔力が宿ってるの？
エンジェ様が宿らせていると言うべきかもね。エンジェ様の兄を呼び出したいという強い思いが魔力を与えている。確かに反言は大魔法だけど、エンジェ様はその魔法のために無意識のうちに着実に階段を登っているのは間違いない。
嬉しいわ。私以外の人にそれを認めてもらえるのは。
Yeah. I'd like to thank you for that, Mamon. For being there for Angie and telling her this. Your own effort isn't something that you can observe by yourself. In that sense, you know these words came from a dangerous demon girl who governs one of the 7 deadly sins. They made me very happy. Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony.
反言の魔法に至るのと寿命を全うするのとどっちが早いかだけは私には保証できないけれども、でも挑む山の高さが高ければ高いほど魔女としての力も比例していく。エンジェ様はくじけることがなかったなら、きっといつか私たちの元の主ベアトリーチェ様に匹敵するほどの大魔女になれると思います。
なれるかしら。大魔女になってお兄ちゃんを、家族を蘇らせることができるかしら。
反言の魔女エンジェ教。素敵。反言の魔女はかなりレアな魔女です。そんな魔女がご主人様なんてちょっと鼻が高いです。
A witch of resurrection. I do have to wonder if there has ever been such a witch in the past who had that kind of power.
っていうか、むしろそうなってほしいものです。家具の価値も主の格に比例しますので。もうベアトリーチェ様さえ抜いちゃって天下無双の大魔女になってくださいね。煉獄の7姉妹を代表して心より応援申し上げます。
I thought that if a magical friend were to appear for me too, I'd like a cute kid like Sakutaro. I mean, who wouldn't want? But even this 5th sister of the Frighting 7 Sisters, who governed the 7 deadly sins, was enough to calm my heart this much all by herself. Well, Anachan probably knew this long ago. And that's why she recommended the role of witches to me over and over and over again. And I kept on stubbornly rejecting it. I should have given in and started my training as a witch sooner. A year as a child compares with 10 in old age, was it? At this point, I find my past self deplorable for wasting precious time doing nothing but complaining. Long after I turned off the lights and slipped into bed, Mama continued to talk to me beside my pillow. I promise. One day for sure. I'll develop a magical power that can summon the Seven Sisters. And I'll let them have a lively and fun time. The seven of them make a single whole. None can be left out. Family, well, I must be together. I must bring them together. My awareness began to return slowly. Okay, well, I guess we're back to the game board, it seems. I hadn't been able to stand watching Rosa and Marie-chan's relationship. And I had to run away from Beato and Oni-chan's game, hadn't I? Well, it's time for us to go back. I got to go back, support Oni-chan, and quickly bring him back from this role in its crazy witch games. Because as long as I'm here, I'm not permitted to call myself Angie. Suddenly, I felt someone's presence. When I turned around, there stood Mammon. Hey there, Mammon.
グレーテル様、そろそろお戻りになられないと、ゲームの進行に差し支えると、ベアトリーチェ様が仰せです。速やかにお戻りになられますように、お願い申し上げます。
ありがとう。もう戻るわ。
よかったじゃないですか。
何が？
バトラーお兄ちゃんに出会えて。
皮肉？
そう聞こえるなら、そういうことにしてもらってもいいですけど。
ごめんなさい。言葉通りに受け取るべきね。ええ、そうよ。
It is, although not fully, given that we are in the state of here of going through a game, and in one way we should not let emotions play in this if Beller were to recognize Angie over here, so we're keeping it anonymous.
こんなおかしな世界であっても、お兄ちゃんに出会えて心底に嬉しいわ。
そして、お兄ちゃんのために、ベアトリーチェ様に打ち勝つ？
ええ。いつまでもこんな世界で遊ばれてちゃ困るもの。そろそろお家へ帰る時間なのよ。だから私が呼びに来たわ。
せいぜい頑張ってください。私、今の主はベアトリーチェ様ですので、応援はできませんが。知
ってるわ。1986年10月5日までは、あなたはベアトリーチェの家具よ。そしてやがては、私の友人になるわ。
そしてやがては、その友人を捨てるわけですが。何しろ。
Mammon? Mammon moaned as if she had bit her tongue, staggering as she clutched her chest. What happened? Apparently, the rule applies to people other than me as well.
大丈夫？それ、結構辛いわよ。
失礼しました。グレーテル様。
いいえ。ありがとう。
Well, are you not allowed to say a specific thing? Were you about to say something and then you got... No, sorry, I'm confused. What is going on here?
嬉しいわ。お兄ちゃんに出会えて。あなたの最初の問いへの答えよ。じゃあ、戻りましょう。私があまりぐずると、あなたが今の主人に怒られるわ。
はい。ご理解いただけて助かります。それではこっち。
マモン？
Yeah? Okay, what now? I'm sure Mammon had been about to say, well then, this way. But she stopped dead, as though the film had been torn off. It looked like she had suddenly frozen. And then I noticed she wasn't the only thing that had frozen. Even the air and floating bits of dust had frozen in place. A world where it seemed like even time itself had frozen. Oh, did Beatrice come over here to talk to us? What's going on here? I mean, I guess that would explain Mamon's suddenly getting hurt over here. Like, she was about to say something and Beatrice does not want that. She doesn't want her stakes saying stuff that Beatrice does not want. And he resembled what would usually happen just before Ben Costello appeared. But the atmosphere was different somehow. Then I understood. It wasn't Ben Costello. It was the other witch. No. You're not telling me that we're talking about Lambda, right?
調子はどうかしら、エンジェ。
Oh no! Well then, are you ready? Ready as always. Let's get to it, Nefarious. Splendid. Since you have the audacity to claim that there is an unknown X-person hidden on the island, I would love to find out how wrong you are. You and Battler. As long as I keep thinking and thinking, the truth will be discovered. With that being said, let's begin. Alright. First, before we start analyzing the first game, let's set up our playground a little. Playground? Basically, your job here is to make up how many theories you feel like, just like Battler. Now, while I do not have the power to destroy you with red truths, Beatrice and the other witches do. So while I am here with you discussing your theories and proving your incompetence when you're wrong, the witches are going to be the final judges of your theories with their red truths. Sounds fair, thus far. Even then, however, it is more than likely that not all of your theories are going to get addressed in this game, or the next. The moment that your theories will get addressed and destroyed by red truths, however, it will be the most exciting thing to witness. Alright, so each time my theories will fail, there will be 1 point for you. In which case, for the sake of organizing this and making it beneficial for the both of us, I propose a new rule, just for the two of us. After every theory that I create, I will summarize each of them under the banner of Orange Theory. For example, after so much research that has been put into trying to solve the epitaph, the most convenient answer that I came up with thus far is that the word Killian is the key for the epitaph, and took that word out of quadrillion and rearranged the letters to find Lord Yu, the noble name that the epitaph is referencing. Thus, I will put it under the banner of Orange Theory as follows. Killian is the key of the epitaph, and Lord Yu is the noble name that the epitaph is referencing. Then I take it that this will be your first Orange Theory that you're confident in? Might as well. Alright, then how about we first discuss the matter of Battler's first blue truth regarding Kinzo. Will you accept it as your Orange Theory as well? I could say yes, but since Battler already said it and there is a hint of Beatrice wanting to deny it in Red Truth, like later down the road, I'm not really sure if I should be confident in that one or not. I mean, you have seen Kinzo alive in his study, talking to Kraus and Natsui and all. Kinda makes you wonder, doesn't it? Seeing Kinzo alive in his study at this point means absolutely nothing to me. Not only is there the possibility of this being a magic claim, but as I stated before, if Battler, the piece inside the game board Battler, does not see Kinzo alive with his own eyes, then the blue truth still stands. Until Beatrice is gonna deny it in red. Now, she could be bluffing, but do you really want to take that chance? Also, there is the slight possibility of Kinzo being seen by Battler later down the road, if he is truly gonna attend the family conference after the dinner. You thought of that too. I will accept it as orange fury. And even if Beatrice were to deny it in red truth, maybe we will eventually find a loophole to counteract that as well. What kind of counterattack can you even find for that one? If Beatrice denies the blue truth with the red truth, that would mean that Kinzo is still alive at this point. And your theory in regards to the X-person or imposter implies that someone has to be dead in order for your theory to work against the red web. Kinzo may still be alive at this point, but that doesn't mean that he won't die much later, outside Rokkenjima. Nani? There is the possibility of Kinzo still being alive at this point, and an imposter disguising themselves as Kinzo inside Rokkenjima. And after a while, before the red web has been announced by Evatress that Kinzo is dead, Kinzo already died outside Rokkenjima, while the imposter is still alive inside Rokkenjima. So even if Beatrice were to deny Balor's blue truth, that still won't change the possibility of an imposter among us. If Kinzo is outside the island, that will be 18 minus 1 humans here. If we add the imposter, that is 18. If Kinzo dies outside the island during the game, then that satisfies the red web, and the imposter is still alive somewhere inside. Oh. So, I will state the following in orange. Kinzo is still alive at the beginning of 4th of October outside Rokkenjima. He will eventually die during the game by the time the red web is announced at the end of game 3 outside of Rokkenjima. The 18th human, disguised or not, is still alive inside Rokkenjima. So you're telling me that Kinzo's dead body was never inside the Rokkenjima? Possible. The burned body we found inside the boiler room in the first game could not be identified outside of just the 6 toes that he has, which could be anyone else. In the second game, if we are to exclude the banquet, his dead body was never found by anyone inside the family. And in the third game, once more, we found a burned body in the boiler room. Therefore, we could go with the assumption that in each game, we found a fake burned body inside the boiler room to make us think that was Kinzo's dead corpse, when in actuality his dead body was outside of Rokkenjima. If our culprit had Kinzo's dead body with him, he didn't really have to burn it to the point of unrecognition. Well, Beatrice did state in red that Kinzo was dead though, when the 6th locker room murder was discussed. Meaning that Kinzo must have died outside of Rokkenjima before the first twilight was discovered by the humans, like in the morning. So, I will state the following in orange. Kinzo died before 7 AM, before Beatrice stated her red truth about the first twilight of the third game. You are thinking ahead. We shall see, however, if it sticks. Are there any other preposterous theories you may have in regards to your hidden culprit / imposter? Yes. So far, I have been talking about this hidden imposter as someone who is yet unknown to us. Someone outside those that we know on Rokkenjima, meaning the family, the servants, and the doctor. But we've recently encountered new humans who have some connection to the family, more or less. We have Sumadera Kasumi, Okonogi Tetsuro, and Amakusa Jusa. And you're gonna try and see if any of those could have disguised themselves as one of the already established 18 humans. Indeed. And before we go ahead and analyze the first game, I will state the following in orange. Kasumi disguised herself as Kirie after killing her, and pretended to be her during the stay on Rokkenjima. You're seriously grasping for straws now. Really? I mean, if there is someone who knows Kirie more than anyone else, how to act and think, and has similar appearances, you'll be Kasumi. Come on! I could suspend my disbelief that the rest of the family would not notice that Kirie is not who she seems to be.
But you're telling me that Rudolph and Beller would not notice that something is wrong with her. And maybe you're gonna tell me that Rudolph is in cahoots with Kasumi and knows that Kiri is dead. But what about Beller? He is her son after all.